Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and today we're making slow cooker French onion pot roast. Yes, you heard that right. If you love all things French onion, you're going to love today's recipe. Now you can grab it, link in the description below. And why I always tell you to go to our site, eatingonadime.com, is because we have so much more information than I can talk about on a YouTube video. If people would say I'm long-winded already. And so there's so much more information on how to serve it, different ways you can make variations on it. I would love it if you would go visit that as well. Also below, we're going to have all the tools that I used today linked for you, and our quick and easy slow cooker digital cookbook that is currently half price right now. Now today I'm going to use my beautiful by Barrymore digital crock pot. You can use any crock pot for this recipe, but the reason I'm doing this is because if you want to brown your roast, you can actually brown it inside, which means only one dish to clean. So I'm going to do a quick drizzle of some oil. My bit was almost empty. Then, oh, I don't need it anymore. Then I already turned this on saute. So what makes this, let's make sure it's still working. Yeah. What makes this so awesome is that you can actually brown stuff, bake stuff inside here as well. Now, if you don't have a digital slow cooker, even though this one's very expensive, and I'll include a link in the description. See how you can hear it sizzling? So I'm just going to do a quick brown of all the sides of the roast. Now remember, if you do not have a digital slow cooker, just head to your stove and use your skillet and quickly brown it. And if you're feeling extra lazy, just skip the browning altogether. No one's going to judge you. It's still going to be delicious. So I wanted to show you, see how beautifully it's browned in here. And then at the bottom of the crock pot, you'll see little pieces of brownness, and that's what's going to make our juice and our gravy even better. But again, you can skip the browning if you want to. While we let that finish browning, I'm going to go ahead and top up a whole onion. We're using a yellow onion. A white onion would be good as well. And we are just going to slice this up. Now we actually have a whole post on how to chop onions, how to slice onions. We have a whole video too that you can check out as well. But slicing is really easy. And then I'm just going to separate them right on top. And honestly, you can do these in any order. You can add the seasonings and stuff first, or this. That's what's so great about the crock pot. It's very forgiving. And I'm going to do the other half. So we're doing an entire onion today. After you cut the onion in half, when you slice them, you can go this way or you can go this way. I prefer kind of longer slices. Okay, you can do them thick or thinner. Then we're just going to separate them and sprinkle them right on top of the roast. Now, I'm doing 2 roasts today just because my family is much larger than the average family, and this makes amazing leftovers. Now we just need to add a few seasonings, and that's how simple this is to make. We are going to add some minced garlic. You can mince your own garlic, or you can be lazy like me today and use pre-minced garlic. We need to do a teaspoon of thyme. Just sprinkle it right on top. Salt and pepper. So a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Then we need 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I always have to sing Worcestershire, Worcestershire, Worcestershire sauce. And remember, very forgiving. So we're gonna make this roast shreddable, and so we're not mixing up the seasonings because it will disperse throughout as it's cooking. Then we just need 2 cans of French onion soup. Now this is just the condensed soup. And then we're just going to pour it right on top. And this is just really going to bump up the flavor of this roast. Now all we have to do is add the lid and cover, and we're gonna cook on low for about 8 hours or high for 4 to 5 hours. Now, if your roast is really big, it might take up to 10 hours, which is why if you have a really big roast, then I would go ahead and chop it in half before you actually throw it in the crock pot. Okay, so I'm out of here, guys. I'm gonna let this cook for a few hours and I'll be back to show you the results. So it's been a few hours, so now we're ready to take it out. I actually did let it cook since I got it done so early. I let it cook longer because I wanted that meat super tender, because that's just kind of how I like a roast. But you know your preferences, and it's like literally falling out as it comes out of the crock pot. So all you gotta do is remove it, and then we're going to shred it. I like to cut off any of the little fat that's still on there. You can trim the fat before you cook it or after, either way works. Now, as for the sauce in here, you will find a very liquidy sauce. I prefer to thicken that up, and so I'm gonna show you how to do that as soon as we get this shredded. Now to shred it, you just need 2 forks, and if it's super tender, it will literally just pull apart. When I was a kid, I used to call it pull apart meat, but it'll just fall apart. And if it's still pretty big for pieces, I just take a knife and just cut down through the middle just to make it more kind of bite-sized pieces. Now again, you can slice your roast, you don't have to shred it. I just prefer to shred mine because there's so many ways that we can serve this, and we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. So I'm going to get the rest of these shredded, and I'll be right back. So I got it all shredded and put it back in to mix it up. Now you'll see mine is boiling. It just started, and that's because I turned it back on the saute so I can thicken it up. So as you can see, it's pretty thin, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm going to just pour some thickening agent in here, and that's going to make this nice and thick and into a delicious gravy. Now the easiest way to thicken up is to bring this to a boil. Now, if you don't have an electric cooker, it's okay. You can spoon out the sauce and do it on a saucepan. But once it's nice and hot, then you're going to scoop in 1 to 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now, if you don't want to use cornstarch, we do have other ways that you could do it. We could do a flour mixture, and we could also do use arrowroot, and we talk about that in the post. But you stir that in with a little bit of cold water. This is very important because if you were to put cornstarch into the hot water, it's just going to like clump up. But now you pour this in here, let it cook through, stir it in, and you will notice immediately that it's starting to thicken. Now, this works better if you're like almost boiling your liquid. But so like I can just turn it off now, and it will continue to thicken as it sits, and I'll show you an up close, but it continues to thicken, and you have this delicious, amazing gravy with just like the easiest way possible. So if you think you can't make a delicious gravy, you're wrong. It's so simple and it's so easy. So now I wanted to show you the difference. See how when I pick it up, you have more of a gravy consistency, and you can let it continue to cook until it's as thick as you would like. I like mine gravy just still a little bit runny, but you'll have this beautiful gravy that will taste good on potatoes, egg noodles, rice, and vegetables. Okay, so today I'm going to serve it on just some egg noodles, but we love serving it on mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, and even baked potatoes. So I'm just going to spoon up some top. I mean, look, it's so good and tasty. I can't wait to try this out. Pile it up. The thing I love about this is because it has so much flavor, is that if you have picky kids that don't like vegetables, this sauce will be delicious on like steamed broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots. You can even throw the carrots and potatoes in here if you wanted to make it a one-pot dinner as well, like you would a traditional roast. But I love the versatility of how we can serve this differently with egg noodles or rice or potatoes. But now it's time for the try. It's my favorite part, right? It's hot. Good one. Super tender, really flavorful. I'd probably add some pepper, fresh cracked pepper on top of mine. After I'm tasting it, I think I like that idea. Okay, friends, that's how easy it is, guys. Don't forget to grab our digital slow cooker cookbook. It's half off right now. in the description. You can also get the link for today's recipe in the description as well. Remember, you can always go to eatingonadime.com and you can find all of our brand new recipes, including recipes just like this that are always budget friendly in mind and trying to help you, save some money but eat well at home. Now, this makes a lot. We're gonna have leftovers because I love using roast for leftovers. So if you go to that Eating on a Dime to get this recipe, scroll down to the bottom because we tell you how to make these into other leftovers, that like other meals that your family doesn't even know that they're eating leftovers. Okay guys, I'm out of here. If you like today's recipe, don't forget to drop a comment, like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our fun recipes. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time for another family friendly recipe. Bye friends.